I know how to do kick.
Yeah, Mom.
I know how to do punch. Do you know how to do block? That's block, right? And this one is a karate chop.
Ooh.
Wait a second. Jump. Try to do jump. This is block. Jump. When you go like this, you go right to the side. Oh, you That's block? Yeah, no, this way. This way is block for you. Watch. Okay, do that. I'm going to try to hit you. Don't do that. Okay. Okay, so now we got a new move that my son has taught me. Use 4, but he just beat me. No, you beat me. I beat you? Yeah. Wow.
My leisure project was on video gaming, history and current issues. Video games have predominantly been played by males. Male gamers may dominate during video gameplay, which may discourage women from playing. Girls and women played for entertainment unlike their male counterpart, where video gaming was more of a priority. Women and girls may be less immersed in the culture and less motivated to win or succeed at video games than men and boys. Men on average played longer, on average 10 years, close to the 12-year national estimate. Non-violent games cause women and girls low interest in such games. Girls and young women display less interest in digital games, have less game-related knowledge, and play less frequently for shorter durations than do boys and young men. Girls are in fact interested in gaming. A female protagonist contributed to girls' appreciation of video games. Majority of the video game culture audience continues to be male. Character representations in video games are geared toward male players. Female characters not represented proportionally and sexualized more than their counterparts. Most video games target a male audience. Men play video games more often, have had more experience, and feel more confident in their game-playing ability. Moderate female gaming population was found to exist who also play video games regularly. Both men and women are playing video games and have been for quite some time. Some interesting facts. 30% of games, the female character had a leading part or supporting role. Female character in 21% of the games were either submissive or in a stereotypical position. 15% of the female characters were the hero in the game, and female characters were either princesses or wise old women. Some interesting issues. Males that played a video game that emphasized muscular male bodies had an increase in their negative body image. They had a decrease in general body esteem, positive attitudes toward muscularity, drive for muscularity, positive feelings toward their body. Some theories. Theories why women prefer to play less video games. Women do not like the violence depicted in games. They prefer other type of video games such as racing, sports, and/or games that allow you to be a part of the community. Also, I think that women do not feel the need to win in a video game, whereas men do. References, continued references, and more references. Relationship to class materials. Stereotypical portrayal of gender and race. Men held the dominant positions, women were submissive, and the majority of game characters were white. Female characters found to be underrepresented, and proportionally were more often sexualized in comparison to their male counterparts. Girls and women tended to play fewer games for shorter sessions, on average half an hour, than men and boys. In my experience with this cross-gendered activity relates to this class material in these ways. Women do not want to be depicted as sexualized objects in the video games and therefore choose not to play the games showing these type of characters. Males are more interested in violent entertainment than females are. A vast majority, 92%, of the characters were male and only 8% were females. 24% of the men were represented in a dominant position, whereas none of the women were. My lack of participation. I had not actively participated in this activity before for a couple reasons. First, being that it was an activity that I had no clue about. When and if I played it in the past, I did it for fun, pressing all buttons, not knowing what I was doing. Not knowing what I was doing didn't give me the confidence that I wanted when participating in an activity. Being that the video games were typically for males, this wasn't an activity that I went out of my way to learn properly. References for this section. My reflection on personal learning. Activity definitely challenged me personally. It wasn't something that I was good at. Typically, I catch on to something rather quickly. Learning the moves the right way was hard for me. Different combinations and moves were a bit confusing to me. I mastered a few of the moves. They were not enough to win, only sometimes. I am competitive, and I do not like to lose. While participating, I felt a bit anxious in not knowing the right moves. I did not want to lose to my husband or my son. The fact that they knew the game better than I did was not comforting to me. It made me want to quickly learn so that I could really win when playing against them. Insights. Insights that I gained is that males really enjoy fighting and violence. Even though I wanted to win, I still didn't like the fact of beating up my opponent. Males tend to have a drive of wanting to win and beat the opponent at no cost. My husband and son had no mercy when they played against me. At times, they went easy on me, which I didn't like. If they played competitively the whole time, I never would have won. They knew all the right moves, or should I say all the good moves. I want to play to have fun, but I personally prefer a game of racing. Continued insights. Men and women both want fun games. Both sexes are attracted to the fun of mastery, curiosity, improved cognition, and socialization. Men preferred sport games, and women preferred racing games. Players are drawn into the represented world and become less aware of the mediated quality of the experience. The resulting feeling of being there is generally referred to as a state of presence. Men play for achievement and personal gain to win. Participation in the activity. I will definitely participate in this activity again. It has been fun to play with my husband and son. They like to teach me, at least I think they do. It's a fun activity to play with them, especially since it's an activity that they prefer to do. I will have to play in smaller increments of time since my fingers start to hurt. I guess this is a video gamer's problem, but they don't mind because the playing makes it worth it. And these are the final references. Thank you.
Who has been teaching me some of the moves of Crimson Viper, the character I chose to use in Street Fighter. So I've learned a few of her moves. I'm not just pressing buttons. Right, son?